To it. Welcome back to the next episode of Dried Blood. We're here with Matt Taylor. We're here with Sensei Suplex returning to the arena. Sensei, how did it feel to be back?
Oh man, it was awesome. You always get that little bit of nervousness when you're like, oh man, here we go. You're pumped up, you're amped up. But then every single time, like even the last time I was on the show, within 5 to 10 minutes, I heard it's time for D20 Deathmatch. Mudcat freaking awesome, epic voice in the intro. I'm like, okay, all right, we're in it. And just like that, it's freaking a lot of fun. Love it. Love it.
That's fair. I love to hear that too, especially because Mudcat does bring great energy. And we want this to be associated with good vibes. Like we're excited to be back. How about you, Matt? First time on, what was it like? Like when this first kicked off, what were you like, what am I getting myself into?
So it's really cool because I stepped away from Twitch for 2 years. And I've only recently stepped back into it, and not on my own channel or anything, just only exclusively being on other people's shows. And so joining in, pretty fresh. This was a fantastic warm welcome back into the streaming space. You guys were perfect for
thank you.
Me stepping back in because I was nervous. I'm a natural performer, but I'm nervous, because I haven't been on Twitch in so long, but. Just the environment that you guys created was so good, and it took me back to WWE, just getting so jazzed about that shit on let's see, it was we'd go to a wing shop, and me and my buddies, and we'd eat wings and watch fucking WWE. Yeah.
I like that. Well, the D&D world is lucky to have you back on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always really excited to I get really excited when people kind of understand the concept, because sometimes not everybody understands right away, but of the callbacks to professional wrestling, and we're very influenced by things like Celebrity Deathmatch and even stuff like Mystery Science Theater 3000, and those are all really big influences for us on the show and kind of things. So when someone comes in, they're like, oh yeah, this was WWE, we're like, yes, you get it.
I know.
Yeah,
you understand.
Now the two of you brought some very memorable characters that had quite opposing ideas of deities and belonging behind it. That was really interesting. What, since you're particularly excited, let's dive into that a little bit from both of you. I'm kind of curious.
So as soon as Matt started talking about their character, and then they were like, oh, they're a warlock, they're a patron, I was like, oh, how does he feel about his patron? Oh, they like him? I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be perfect. I was so ecstatic. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a good one.
Combo.
Yes. Oh man. Because I knew go.
No, I just loved how how almost just uncannily edgy both of them were. It was if we're gonna take the most stereotypical liners from the dark moody characters, and we're just gonna put them into a 1 hour compilation. It was but then we got two of them.
Exactly. Oh man, I love it. And that's the thing about
y'all. You get a shadow, you get a hex. Here's a dead guy.
Here's darkness.
Here's my aura of hatred. It's oh my god.
Honestly, that's one of the things I love about our show is on its head it's PvP, but we really emphasize creating in this 2 hours within a PvP setting, creating a really good narrative. And that's just it just speaks to people we have on the show, how talented they are to be able to come in, and you haven't met, you don't know what characters you're playing necessarily, and to form a full kind of narrative through this experience is just something really cool. We like to see that, and it's just you guys did so well doing that. I really like these characters. I'm I would watch both of these characters in a party together in a campaign. That would be, I was these that would be so dope to have the dark setting edgelord campaign, and
well, in both these characters, I'm from beginning to end, you nailed it. I'm excited to see where Captain Fable goes with his new ship. right? Sorry, you don't have to take this ship into your campaigns, but you have one now.
Oh no,
have
I'm taking the ship into the campaign.
Okay, cool,
like,
cool.
Come on. I even made like a reference when Martin, the previous character, was in here. He actually made a reference to you guys to like deathmatch or whatever. I gotta find the clip. It's like
we made it.
Where the hell did I sort of? Is this the arena? Where's the arbiter? And all that stuff.
God.
Great.
This country.
Yeah,
he was.
I'm from Arkansas and Tennessee, so like.
But even with like Verryn Ruth, when you had that final line of like, "This isn't even my first life," it's like, what?
Yeah, I wanted to know more. I was like, tell me more.
I need this story.
Gets you craving for more. I love it.
Yes. So a death match is only just the beginning of more fables to be told.
I feel like we need
to me, for Verryn's backstory, even of like where he came from, because he was a higher level character in the campaign that I stole him from, and so like he has died before a few times, and so being in this arena, to me, almost if I can do like a callback to Dragon Ball Z, where yeah, all right, thank you. To where like Goku, like, you know, he dies several times, then he goes to like this afterlife arena tournament. It's like where this almost comically the gods have just put him in one of these like afterlife little
to earn
arenas
special training.
Special training and for the amusement of these of these grand Kai, and so this is just like one of those temporary things before he's thrown back into the world, like, and picking back up with his ideals of like hedonism, and because he's one of those like very unhealthy, like emotionally unhealthy peoples that was like,
what?
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Well, I couldn't tell.
No way. He seemed totally mentally balanced.
I don't know what gave it away. Like, I don't know if it was the nipple ring or like the horn. I don't know.
Listen, the nipple ring doesn't mean you're mentally unstable. Okay. Just when you got one and then the other's a tassel.
Oh man.
But when you said that line though, like, this isn't the first time I died, my brain instantly was like, we need a prequel one shot of Verryn origin story. I gotta know.
It
was so good. I enjoyed having both of you on. It's always so much fun, and obviously we played with Sensei before, but only the one time. So, you know, it was nice to have you back, and nice to have someone. Matt, never playing with you. Obviously, we talked a little bit about let you talk a little bit about your upcoming project you have on Kickstarter. You can go ahead and pitch it here too if you want, as this will be a whole different video. So feel free. Yeah.
So for viewers, thanks for watching and giving us your time. It's really cool to have you guys here. So my name is Matt. I'm a filmmaker. The project that we're doing right now is we're currently pursuing funding on Kickstarter for a feature-length documentary film about people who play tabletop role-playing games. And so we have 6 different segments of the movie, 5 different segments of the movie dedicated to cosplayers and LARPers, to homeless shelters and prisons, and potentially with like library programs for children, depending on what's available to us, to collectors, to the community, and then to celebrities. So like 5 completely different facets of the hobby, completely different perspectives, but seeing the similarities between all of them, and seeing common ground that ties all of us as players together. And so that's what the grand story is about. And we're telling individual stories of each of those like categories of people through the film. And really, it's just me going and sitting down with a bunch of people and playing just a little sit down pickup game. And the story isn't really about the games that we play. It's more about the people that are playing the games. So that's what we're trying to raise funds for. It's called Beyond the Game Dice. You can find that on Kickstarter. And we're also on Twitter, of course. The studio is called Dice Roll Studios.
Perfect. Awesome. So it's a cool project. I'm looking forward to seeing more come from it. And on the other side here, Sensei, go ahead and give yourself a shout out here for your Twitch channel, for everything else. Let people know where they can find you and all that.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, again, name or Sensei Suplex and all that good stuff. Basically, I run a giant living universe and world. Project Aurora is the name. Again, me and a bunch of other dungeon masters, we run all of our games in the same exact living, breathing universe and world. So that means they can affect each other in a multitude of ways. On top of that, you guys can affect it. Anybody watching, you guys can affect it through the likes of helping out with world building. As this collaborative sort of project, or you can even jump on into the streams at twitch.tv/Sensei Suplex, or the random hodgepodge of all the other sort of streams, and be able to either give out inspiration points, change the weather, add sort of things, and add little bits of chaos to the narrative as we all make something together and we all play D&D together. So you can find me at pretty much any sort of social media platform, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff at Sensei Suplex or Sensei_Suplex. And hey, I just invite you to play D&D with me or just around the entire likes of the Auroraverse. So yeah, that's where you guys can find me.
Wonderful. Well, both of you are absolutely amazing. And I encourage you all, if you're listening, make sure you give them a follow, stay updated on their projects and what they're creating, because it's just amazing. All right. So to wrap us up for the evening, we love to hear a final little statement. It can be from you or your character, a little last minute piece of advice or final words to our acolytes. Sensei, let's have you go first.
All right. Off the cuff, we'll see as we're going to do this in Fable's sort of voice. Always remember, your strength does not come from outside forces. You determine whether you are strong or not. If you feel as if you are weak, then begin to become strong. Begin to gain that strength and look towards others around you to bolster your resolve, but never outside and omnipotent forces. It will screw you over and drag you through the dirt all the same. This is true strength. Strength in unity.
Lovely. Lovely. All right, Matt, how would you like to wrap us up?
So this will be like a post-show Verryn appearance. So he's like walking out of the locker room, still like, you know, sweaty and bloody. He's kind of holding his head under his arm like a helmet.
Seeing like a bath towel, like
it's like over his shoulder, yeah. And so he like the body like positions the microphone like close to Verryn's head while he's just holding it under his arm. He's like, well, I suppose the best advice that I would be qualified to give is it's important to feel. Your feelings they're powerful. They're powerful things. They remind you you're alive. You should feel good things, but in your pursuit of feeling good, be mindful of the way your pursuits are impacting those around you. And so he kind of like almost like starts to like stare off into yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I love that.
I
That's
imagine
beautiful.
just kind of hearing in the background, just like Fable's like, hey, does anybody know where Doug is? I still have a bone.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Great advice from both our champions, both for D&D players and a little for real life too. So, Arbiter, I think we've got some good material. What say you?
Yep, I think that's call it a wrap there. Guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you on the next episode of D20 Deathmatch.